Hello, I'm here today with the head coach of the Cal State Monterey Bay women's basketball team, Sarah Hopkins-Chery. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing well, thanks yourself.
Doing very well. Just great to hear the insight from these different teams from the coaches themselves. And thank you. We're just hoping to hear a little bit about the Otters this season. Your first year with the team, correct?
Correct.
So,
First few months in.
exactly. So we know you've been with them for a while, so a lot of new stuff to talk about. So let's jump right into this. You guys are 5 games in already on your season. Actually have one CCAA game under your belt. But just talk to me, being a first-year person, there's probably a lot that you've done, but what have you learned about your team that maybe you didn't know on October 15th?
Yeah, I think for us it's just realizing that we have 19 people, so we have a big roster. We wasn't sure how many we were going to have when I officially took the job. So just initially working on a roster, seeing who we were going to have returning, bringing in newcomers, and just getting everybody mentioned. I think that's been one of the biggest pieces for us, is just the willingness of all of our ladies to just be on the same page and realize that we're here to represent CSUMB and bring out the best version of ourselves every day and continue to work together to make strides.
Absolutely. And you guys did have the opportunity to return the conference's leading scorer in Lauren Pointer, at least during the regular season and stuff. But like you mentioned, so many new faces on that roster this year. When I've had a chance to look through the stats, I actually had a chance to see that you are leading the conference right now in free throw attempts. Is it because of the players you have? Is this kind of the style that you're bringing to the court with a little bit more aggressiveness? Just talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely want to be more aggressive. I'm really on both sides of the basketball. I think it's an area we're still working on. And obviously the final piece of that is executing on those. But yeah, we're looking to push the tempo, trying to be aggressive on both ends of the floor, to be honest.
Thank you. So I know you can get a lot. You can go through. I've had a chance to look at your stats, had a chance to look at some of the box scores before. But tell me as a coach, or tell me your inside perspective, what is something that doesn't show up in the stats that is a strength of your team?
I think some of our energy and then charges necessarily always can be an energy changer for us. So we've got a couple that do a really good job, and some others that are learning. On our defensive end, some of those pieces, our defense is not probably showing where it could be yet, but I think we have a lot of potential growth and development to really start making a difference on that defensive side, and not necessarily just steals, but just being in rotations and causing tough shots.
Fantastic. So once again, I'm not trying to give too much away, because one of the unique things, your first year in the league. So one that everybody's going to get to see your style for the first time and your team's new style. So like I said, I'm not trying to go too much, but tell me, after your team walks out of the gym and the coaches are out there, the other coaches are talking about you, what do you want them to say the identity of the Otters was? What do you want your team identity to be from another team's perspective?
Yeah, I think a team that's going to fight, a team that's going to battle and compete day in and day out, no matter what the score is, and a team that's just fighting to compete and move the needle for our program again, and you have to show up to compete again. So.
Oh, good. So obviously, as you mentioned, 19 players, you as a new coach, things are all coming together on that one. You had a chance to probably start conditioning in September, had your first practice October 15th. But the whole point is, I know you want to continue to improve from that point. You don't want to be the team you were on the first game of the season. So tell me what your team can do to be better on March 1st than it can on December 1st.
I think it's continuing to have focus and paying attention to details, and then just truly being all in about what we said are our core values, what we want to be as a team, and just working to get a little bit better at that every single day.
Fantastic. So I know you go throughout the season. I know we keep talking about the new stuff and things like that, but we mentioned October 15th one. Practices happen, you're with them for a month, and then you play your first game. What has surprised you about your team, of something maybe you weren't expecting to happen, in the practice that first month, but it's kind of manifested during the regular season?
I think really just the ability of our players to learn about each other and to connect, to make a valid effort on helping each other get better, helping understand maybe what we want. I have a couple of players that have played for me in the past, and they're able to help kind of everybody understand what we're looking for, what we're trying to do, and just that willingness and that openness for them to learn and develop in that communication area specifically.
Fantastic. Okay, so I know there's a lot of stuff that gets said in the locker room that isn't for public ears, and I get that kind of stuff. So this is only what you're willing to share. So remember that before I ask the question. But what have been some goals or some things you hope to accomplish this year as a team during the CCAA season, the rest of the year?
Yeah, like I said, I think for us, it's about being our best version of ourselves every day and working to get better and to be competitive. But like I've already mentioned, we want to play with tempo. We want to be able to push the pace, and we want to be a defensive team. So just we'll continue to work on those elements of what this program is going to be about from here on out.
Well, fantastic. Well, as we mentioned a little bit right there, the season gets underway here pretty soon. You guys have already played one conference game. You guys will be back at it this weekend. Actually, you have a chance to host a couple games. A couple teams will come to your place. You guys will have Cal Poly Pomona and Cal State San Bernardino will both be coming to town. So, Coach, just thank you for taking a couple minutes to talk to us and share a little insight on the Otters. And good luck this weekend, and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. Truly appreciate it. We're excited to get the season rolling.